happy Monday. I hope that the beginning of the week went well for you. It was a Monday for me. So, greetings, Lord Portico. Are you ready? Are you nervous? Don't be nervous. You got this. We're all pulling for you. You're gonna do great. If you don't want to hear things like that, just tell me and I will stop. Otherwise, there will be motivational things for you in the Discord tomorrow. You're going to join us. One of us. One of us. Yay, I'm glad you're feeling good about it. Right now I have chat on both sides of me, and it's weird. I also just got a thing from, a text from Philip letting me know he got a notice on his phone when he logged into the internet. It says, network upgrade alert. You are receiving this notification because Shentel will be performing a network upgrade to improve performance, starting tonight at midnight and ending at 6 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, August 10th. You can expect up to a 30-minute interruption of Shentel cable internet and voice services during this window while your modem automatically reboots. If you experience issues after 6 a.m., please call Shentel. We appreciate your patience as we work to make your network better than ever. So hopefully that is a good sign. Sorry, my nose is, hopefully that's a good sign that, and streams will be more stable in the future. I can hope. I know we've had issues in the past. Yeah, exactly, Lord Portico. Thankfully, where I am in my apartment, there's a cell tower not too far, so if I lose internet here, we have a strong cell signal. If I lost internet at work, there'd be nothing I could do. Because all of the buildings at work, the buildings on campus, are all coated in what's called Hokystone, which is limestone, and it blocks cellular signals. So we have to have Wi-Fi networks in the buildings to be able to connect any devices, unless you're like standing right next to a window. And so in my office, if the internet goes out, I have no connectivity at all. So, yes. Ionic Faraday cage. Like when you're asked to use an internet forum or email to report outages. Yes, indeed. And with my ISP, they don't admit that there are outages when there are outages. So, like you'll get down detector reporting things, but nothing official on the website. There's not even an outage section of the website. If you log into their service, you can report an outage, and then you might get like a map or something. Same thing with our power provider. They don't admit that there are outages. But they're a little better because they have to report like estimates on when it's going to come back. So they at least have a map, and usually the outage will show up. If it goes on for more than 10 minutes or so, they'll finally get something on there. But yes, yeah, Philip. Yeah, the phones, all of the phones at work, are internet phones. In fact, I don't think, like, my work computer is plugged into my phone to get internet. My desk phone. That's how my work computer gets internet. So if my phone resets or something like that happens, I lose internet on my work computer. So, you know, just a really good IT setup altogether. Also, yesterday during stream, Philip sent me a TikTok that was what your favorite fantasy/book series says about you. And later he texted me to say, apparently I do not exist. That's because in the TikTok, when it gets to my favorite fantasy / book series, the comment is, you don't exist. No one, this is no one's favorite. So that's why he said, apparently I do not exist. Not that it wasn't included, that the comment was that it's nobody's favorite. Which, my favorite fantasy series is the Shannara series by Terry Brooks, which I probably have mentioned before. I have multiple copies of The Sword of Shannara, not because it's my favorite, just because it's the one that gets special editions made most often. Honestly, if anybody is looking to get into that series, I would recommend skipping The Sword of Shannara and starting with the Elfstones of Shannara, because The Sword of Shannara is just a retelling of The Lord of the Rings. A literal plot retelling of The Lord of the Rings. You can skip it and start with the second book in the series, which is the Elfstones of Shannara, and go from there. And of course, the books were written in like the 80s and 90s, so they have some problematic elements to them. In fact, my favorite is the Heritage of Shannara tetralogy, which comes after the original Sword of Shannara trilogy, which if you go looking for the Sword of Shannara trilogy, they actually now sell it as 5 books, because they break the Sword of Shannara, which is the first book, into 3 books, and sell them as 3 individual volumes, and then sell Elfstones, and then Wishsong. But I started with the Scions of Shannara, which is the first book in the Heritage of Shannara tetralogy. And that's how I got into the series. And that's when you start to get hints that this is actually a post-apocalyptic future that's in a fantasy level of development. And you get a little bit of hints of like how there are elves and where the magic comes from and stuff like that, because it's Earth post-apocalyptic, and I love it. It's what got me into reading when I was a teenager. Like, one summer, a neighbor around the corner took us to the summer reading club at to like do the summer reading program at the local public library, and I didn't know what I wanted to read because I didn't like reading. Like, this is me with a library science degree. I did not like reading. I hated reading. Reading had always been assigned to me. Reading had always been children's books. Hi Hannah, how are you? Reading had always been assigned to me. It had always been children's books. I had some vision issues that caused me problems with reading. Like in 2nd grade, I had to get glasses because I would begin reading one line of text and finish reading the next line of text. And so I couldn't make sense of sentences because my eyes just couldn't follow the line straight across the page. Big surprise. In 2nd grade, I wasn't straight. And so yeah, I was taken to do summer reading program, and just went. I knew I sort of liked fantasy and sci-fi stuff, I guess, and just wandered and just picked a book that looked interesting off the shelf. And then I read it, and Hannah, I'm doing pretty good. It's a little warm today. It got up to 87 here, and so my streaming room is a little warm. I have a fan blowing on me. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the sound too much, but so I started with Scions of Shannara. I read that one, and then the second book in that one is, I think it's the Druid of Shannara, and then the Elf Queen of Shannara. I can't remember the order. Anyway, there are 4 books, and it was the first time I encountered a story that started in one book and carried over, like, narratively from one book to the next, and you didn't get the full story until you had read the 4th book. I had never encountered that, and that put me onto so much stuff that I had never read before. I read everything Terry Brooks had published up to that point, which sadly did not include the 4th book in that tetralogy, because it wasn't out yet. But that got me into the Shannara series, that got me into reading. I went from that to, sadly, Piers Anthony, which we talked about yesterday, and need say no more about him. But also into Dragonlance, and Kim Stanley Robinson, and Neil Stephenson, and, like, I got into hard sci-fi. I just got to the point where I fell in love with long-form narrative and hard sci-fi, and I like whimsical fantasy and hard sci-fi. But I also like Elizabeth Moon's Vada's War series, which is, I would say, whimsical space opera. Elizabeth Moon's Vada's War is a lot of fun. So I recommend that. I don't know why I'm talking about books. You had a heat advisory there. Ooh, stay cool. How are you doing? Hopefully you're continuing to recover. I know it can be a long road to recover from the COVID. I was talking about books. I don't remember why I was talking about books. I started talking about them for some reason. But anyway, whatever. I have lost that train of thought entirely. I was talking about Shannara for some reason, and I don't remember why. Makes a note to take an inspirational fog. You're not sure you've ever read any Terry Brooks. A lot of Star Wars and some historical fiction, as well as C.S. Lewis and Tolkien. Ooh, my favorite historical fiction is Neil Stephenson. They're in a closet that's too hard to get to right now, but I bought special editions of the Baroque Cycle. The Baroque Cycle? Isn't that what it's called? Yes, The Baroque Cycle by Neil Stephenson. It's historical fiction. He's typically like a cyberpunk sci-fi author. And I read The Baroque Cycle, and I adored The Baroque Cycle. I had never read any historical fiction before that. You recovered well, but don't have your taste and smell back. Well, I'm glad that you have recovered well, and that you're not in danger. Hopefully the taste and smell will come back eventually. I don't know how long it takes. I think it's different for everybody. Actually, this is a cool story. I guess we're getting story time before going into Riven for story time. But the Baroque Cycle is why I'm an archivist. Inspirational fog. So the Baroque Cycle, The Baroque Cycle by Neil Stephenson is why I am an archivist. I have a picture. Where? I don't know where. Anyway, it's not a big deal. I'm not gonna search for it too hard. But I had been reading these books multiple times, and then a special edition was released that was bound in Japanese silk. They were like $200 each, which at the time was a ton of money for me. There used to be a picture on Google that was easy to find of this poster. I actually know where the poster is. I could grab the poster. 1 second. So after the first special edition book came out, it came with a signed numbered poster. Maybe. Oh, there's one side that's open. And the poster was a contest. So this is the poster. Don't know. See that very well. One way or the other. Anyway, so like the first 500 people to buy the special edition of the first novel in the Baroque cycle got that poster. And the poster itself is a contest, and it's written in the Reverend John Wilkins's real character, which is philosophical language that he wrote a treatise on in like the 1600s. It was supposed to be a universal language. It's a plot element in the historical fiction novels. And so once I knew that it was a poster, because there had been a similar contest on the website when they were selling the first volume, and I didn't know about that, and it wasn't announced that it was a contest, but somebody figured out it was a contest anyway and won. Anyway, they did the poster, and people knew that the poster was a contest, but there were only 500 copies of the poster. And essentially the contest was you needed to translate it. And translating it would tell you how to redeem the prize. And I found a copy of the Reverend John Wilkins's, what's it called? An essay towards a real character and a philosophical language that was published in 1668. I found a copy of it in the special collections at the University of Iowa. I took 4 hours of vacation time from work, so an afternoon off, and went to the library to use it. Delayed face bits. Thank you, Hannah, for the 100 bits. So I went to the library, to their special collections, and used John Wilkins's essay towards a real character to translate the poster in 4 hours of time. That was the only time I had available. It was the only time I was going to be able to use the resource. I didn't even think about the fact that maybe I could have just made photocopies of it. It's too much to really photocopy all of it. But I went, I parked, I put money in the meter. I went up. It was the first time I'd ever been to a special collections. They brought out the book to me, gave it to me, made sure that I had some paper and a pencil so that I could do what I needed to do, and left me alone with this book from the 1660s. And after like 2 hours, I was like, I'm not done. I'm going to come right back. I just have to put money in the meter. And so I ran out and put money in the meter, came back, and spent the next 2 hours, and I translated the poster, which just essentially said, to get the prize, send a fax to this phone number. And this was a language that was created in 1668, and they were able to convey in this language from 1668, send a fax to this phone number. Literally what it said was send an electronic mail message, or something along those lines. Send a lightning message to this, and then it gave a phone number. So it was clear that it needed to be a fax rather than like an email or something, with your translation. And that the first two... No, I don't remember. It was the first 2 or 3 or something like that, would get a prize. And so I sent in the fax, and then I never heard anything until 6 months later, when I got a response that told me that their fax machine had had a paper jam, and they never received any of the replies until they realized the fax machine had been jammed. And it spit out the replies, and I was only one of 2 people who got the translation correct. And what I got was a signed, numbered, advanced reader copy of the second book in the series. But what I really got from it was a career in archives, because it sent me to the archives. It was the first time I'd ever been to one. And it was my very first experience in one, and that is ultimately what led to me being an archivist, was that experience of going and being able to sit down with a book from 1668 and use it. Without anybody questioning why I was there, what I wanted to use it for. They were like, yep, we've got the book, here's the book. Just don't use any ink, you can't have any beverages. And then they left me alone with this book from 1668. That is why I'm an archivist, is that experience at the University of Iowa. And it's all because of historical fiction and reading that series from Neil Stephenson and entering that contest based on his historical fiction novel. So, yes, the fax machine had a jam for 6 months and nobody noticed. They had a contest running that required people to send a fax to that machine, and nobody checked it for 6 months. It's a great story. It is the story that has led my reappointment dossier review since I had to start writing one. So I'm on the equivalent of our tenure track as an archivist. So every 2 years I have to submit for reappointment, and then after 6 years, then I have to go up for our equivalent of tenure. And one of the requirements for that is a personal story, or a personal statement, that kind of talks about your philosophy for why you do what you do, and etc. And so the introduction to my personal statement is that story about my very first visit to an archives and my experience there, what that experience was, why I want to draw more people into actually using archives, discovering what's there. I want to be able to share materials. That's why I do the Wednesday stream where you all can watch along with me while I discover things within our archives for the first time. It's not the first time that they've been discovered. It's the first time that I've discovered them. It's the first time that I've seen them. And regardless of what it is, there's somebody somewhere who's going to find it fascinating or interesting or useful. And so the reason why I don't heavily research and lecture in that stream is I want people to see and feel the experience of seeing something from the archives for the very first time. And so I like to go into that stream not blind, sorry. That is an ableist term and I shouldn't use it. I like to go in that stream without preparing so that I'm encountering the materials for the first time at the same time that you are. Surely it is for indexing information so it can never be found, right? Yes, indeed, Lord Portico. Because the archives are for hiding things. They're big dusty places with big imposing archivists who don't want you to touch any of their materials. And why are you here? You should not be here. We don't want you using our materials. That endangers them. That is a media perception of the archives. And that is part of what I'm trying to combat with the work that I do. Our archives is dusty. That's because we don't have regular cleaning happening, and haven't since before the panda started. Hopefully that will change. Although my office has always been dusty because regular cleaning in there didn't really happen because I'm hidden. One of our student employees nicknamed my office Artlantis because my office is one of the rooms that houses collections. It houses the art collection, but it's Artlantis because it is the lost room. It is the room that nobody realizes is there. And that's where my office is. Anyway, it's been a half an hour, and I should probably switch over to the game. Unless you all have more questions. Oh, I will say, at the end of stream today, so in 2 hours, we will be raiding over to Q Times, unsurprisingly, for Clear Skies, unsurprisingly. But tonight, I have a special guest. You forgot to start a pool this week. They haven't had a guest on Clear Skies since before the Panini started. So, all the time that the Pepperoni Pan Pizza has been going, they have not had guests. At least I don't think they have. Yes. Nothing since the Vulcan Twins. But the Vulcan Twins were in person, weren't they? They were before the Panini. Regardless, it's been forever since they had a guest, and they've got a guest tonight, and it is an open secret who the guest is. I don't think there's been an official announcement, but it is out in the world, and it is some person from D&D Beyond who we've raided multiple times in the past. They happen to be a very enthusiastic personage. So we will be heading over there for Clear Skies at the end of the stream. But for now, I should probably get the game started since, you know, the stream information says that I'm playing Riven. And I do want to play Riven and actually make some progress in the game. So I should maybe do that. They do aim me very high with their energy. Lord Partico. That's great. Okay. Oh dear, am I unstable? Has the stream been unstable for long? Are you all able to see me okay? What's going on with the stream? Did that literally just start? So Streamlabs is showing me that I'm not dropping any frames or anything, but okay, hopefully it smooths out. My monitor window where I can like see the stream was buffering nonstop. And Twitch Inspector said that I was unstable. Streamlabs isn't showing any problems. So, fingers crossed? Well, we'll have to monitor it. Of course it starts right when I want to go over to the game. I'm gonna switch to the game screen. Right now, Twitch says it's excellent. Hopefully, it continues to function. Just waiting for... There we go. I have a game. Sends out the game hunting party. Alright. Catherine's Journal. Last week, we were reading things. And suddenly, ran out of time, essentially. I was reading Catherine's journal and lost track of time and had to bail on the stream to get over to Clear Skies before they started. So we're going to start with Catherine's journal first. And because I don't remember anything from it, I'm starting at the beginning. This is why my stream title says Storytime on Riven. Not because I had planned to tell stories of my own, but because I planned to read this at the start of stream. Which, we absolutely have been reading this and playing this game since we started. Right? Since we started. Okay. Oh, you all... I may adjust some. Do you all want to be able to see the words in the book? Or just have me read them to you? Subjects, all witnesses on the stream to privilege. Because I could make elements on the screen go away so you can see the journal while I read. So let me know. If you want that, I can do it. Otherwise, I can just read to you. 87.6.10. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed the island. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. Wait, this isn't Catherine's journal. Sorry. That's the book that we already had. This is Catherine's journal. The one that's up and down. The one that has a lovely, what is this? I would say like a 1700s cursive. You may read people's diaries for a living, but don't advertise their content. Oh wait, this is awkward. Yes, I read people's diaries for a living and advertise their contents. I read their contents online. I have actually literally done that. If you go to my YouTube, the YouTube link to the Virginia Tech University Library's YouTube, where the Archival Adventures stuff is, I have literally read someone's journal online. They are indeed not alive. They are indeed long dead. The person whose journal I read online, I think, was alive in the 1880s or 1890s. I don't remember. Anyway, okay. Reading Catherine's journal now. I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. With my sight only partially cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil which was slowly lifting. There was a violent clang, and bars appeared. I remember breathing slowly and very deeply, tasting the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. Thought it was an insect bite at first. Trying to remember it all, but it's difficult. Maybe because of the drug. There was a voice. A man I did not recognize stood before me. Rivenese, though he was wearing Denis dress. He seemed to be talking to me, but the poison was already taking effect. Shadow crept in and I fell asleep. Then there were the many voices, but I understood none of them. Like hundreds of people whispering, I couldn't wake up. No matter, the dream did end. And now, to be here with Etty. It's been so many years, I didn't realize how much I missed her. Like a piece of me that I had forgotten I'd lost. She's beautiful and so full of warmth. But the years have also left her with a wound which was not there when we were children. There's a note inserted, which we skipped last week, but I'm going to read. I write quickly from my prison. Neela will return your book, which the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. You can find my prison, you will still need the combination to release me. Gen keeps it in his office. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't signal him in before I'm released. Catherine. I do wish she were more interested. It seems like I'm asking all the questions. Awkward. No one asks me where I've been or what I've been doing. This hurts, but I understand it. Their beliefs are born out of ignorance and oppression. They are gentle people, but they've had their nest destroyed, and now they frantically cling to anything that might save them. But why have they chosen to cling to me? As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They misunderstood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I owe everything to them and this place. Thought I would never see them again, and yet I'm here. I've been given this second chance, but a second chance at what? Saving them? Fulfilling their prophecies? Being their savior? The moiety. Atris would want me to chronicle all that I've learned. I can at least record some of it. Wheel of Doom has returned twice in the last 2 minutes. Everything on my end is actually looking okay now. Twitch Inspector hasn't shown anything recently. Oh, nope. There it goes. Yeah. It dropped out a bit. But the stream still appears functional. Hopefully refreshes help. It seems that when Atris and I trapped again on Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. 2 of the Rivenese even witnessed the confrontation with Gen at the fissure, where I linked back to Myst, and where Atris threw himself into the abyss. Of course, they understood little of what they were seeing. They somehow were able to guess that we had won. That Gen was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god, and that we had trapped him here on Riven. I always hoped they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. Atris had stripped Gen of his power, therefore Atris must be a true god. As a god, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. I was transcending into deity and would lord over Riven forever. Thus the moiety, as they call themselves, were born, a dissident society sworn enemies of Gen. I did not know of their beliefs regarding Atris and myself until 2 days ago. Etty was, for some reason, hesitant to tell me. I can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Of course, everyone else assumed that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized it at a recent gathering to which I was invited. I sat at the front of a dimly lit and crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atris, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive, but I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion which is the very foundation of their hope and purpose, and which has given them courage to band together and rebel against Gen. Since then, I've learned of other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to free them. Some believe that I will overthrow Gen. Others believe that I will bring them to paradise. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight it myself. I fight myself. I love these people. My only real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would rather be their slave than their master. Are you still getting sync issues if you refresh, Hannah? Because the stream itself seems to be functioning okay. It's had a couple of drop-offs, but it's been recovering from them right away, which causes some lag. But hopefully a refresh will resync the audio. Hopefully, the internet service upgrade that supposedly is happening tonight between midnight and 6 a.m. from my internet service provider will make it so these things don't happen again in the future. Over the years, as Gen's power has become greater and greater, the moiety's numbers have grown, and they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that he still has not discovered. The moiety, for the most part, have completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them. But I hope they've not sacrificed vital limbs in order to remove the cancer. Even father and Anant are still on the surface in Gen's domains, and I long to see them. I'm sorry, Hannah. I don't know why I have these internet issues. I could take my face away, and then you wouldn't have sync issues. But a dimness shrouds Etty's face every time I've mentioned. I mean, it's frustrating for me as a streamer to have internet issues cause desync. Hopefully it resolves over time, because there's not much I can do except for shut down the stream and restart it, which is also not a great solution. Why are you doing this, internet? Stop! Stop, internet, stop! I'm getting stuttering on my own monitoring of the stream too, so. And yet Streamlabs says there is nothing wrong. Lord Portico begins a long lecture explaining how the mismanagement of digital infrastructure in the United States has led to this. Indeed. Stops before everyone is put to sleep. I could go off on a rant about ISPs. You wouldn't be able to hear me. Louder for the special interests in the back. You're mainly listening today? Well, that's ultimately a good thing, I guess. I have no issues according to Streamlabs. I'm not having the same issues I typically have. It's just having instability every once in a while. So hopefully it resolves. Very frustrating that it's doing this. Hopefully you all can hear me. Just maybe check in every once in a while and let me know. Alright, gonna keep reading now. Since this break took place, they have interfered with the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gen's constructions, or stealing food from the villagers. They wear strange masks and costumes during their short forays to the island's surface, and take this regalia very seriously. Refusing to be seen by anyone outside the moiety unless they are properly attired. They get much pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by these costumes. Calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It was during one of these expeditions that they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gen's guards when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been delivered to Gen immediately. I've no doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was fooled. Atris is not here. I was, at first, devastated by this realization. Now I am thankful. He would be in extreme peril here. Also, there is a quiet inner voice, an echoing remnant that wants him far away. I have just witnessed an age dying, gasping its last breath. Today I ventured to the surface to see what has become of this island. I hoped it would not be as bad as the moiety had reported. It was worse. They have become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, but I was devastated. The lips from which the kiss is wrought has fallen words, will fall cold breath. The womb from which the cry released has suffered hunt, will suffer death. To get to the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Before the last of these doors, they offered me a weapon which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke in those members of my family who still live on the surface. But I also knew I must keep my identity hidden from Gen's ever-vigilant eye, so I accepted it as well. Then, together, we swam a short expanse and emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The harsh sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, rich air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. The three of us emerged from our hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of a thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me as if awaiting my command, but could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more. All feeling was gone. There was numbness. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was long enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once one island, has split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about a half a mile apart. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen as his exclusive domain. One, his ministers and personal militia are ever allowed, only his ministers and personal militia are ever allowed to access to them. From my vantage point at the edge of the forest, I could see 3 of these islands. They are stripped of their former beauty and are riddled with Gen's self-absorbed constructions. The moiety merely visit these closely guarded places. There is another island, which I could not see, as it had evidently crept away to a terrific distance. The moiety are very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they know it is where the great tree used to exist. The forest is located on the island that the surface dwellers and the moiety still refer to as Riven. But they also still refer to their entire world as Riven. This island is where the village is, which has changed dramatically. It is also the one remaining province of the people, though Gen's influence can be seen everywhere. Of course, I know the reason for the fracturing of the island. The moiety do not. Gen wrote this place, and it will die, as all of Gen's ages eventually die. I feel nothing today. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that they are treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. Still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves, talking of my bravery during my excursion to the surface, how I walked across the island bold and unafraid. They don't know me. Even Eddie is uncomfortable around me. At times there is no awkwardness, and I am only Katran to her. But at other times I am something else. I am afraid. There's such a gaunt numbness inside me. Today I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gen. I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure if... At least Neela's still close. I am boiling. Gen is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Atris should have realized this would happen. Of course! Gen would have written all of the materials necessary to the Denis craft of making books into this age, and probably every other age he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of here. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his machines, all belaboring in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his noble Denis cause. So far, he has not been able to produce a fully functional book. Atris has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. Too much of a coincidence. They hang on my every word, though they do not understand them. I am their hope, and now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. It's been a long time since my last entry. It is hard to recognize, but I have found the Star Fissure. It is located on the island which the Rivenese call Alapo, meaning water pool, but which is referred to by the moiety as Aklatwan, meaning pool of stars. Having once allowed Atris to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport, the combination to which was acquired by the moiety before my arrival. Clues! There's a clue in the book. There's a clue in the book. Not enough syllables to make that song go any further, but whatever. I am writing down the symbols. I don't know how to use the symbols in that particular lock, but I'm writing them down. Oh, I bet I know how. I don't know how to get back there. Okay, so those numbers are numbers. Let's see. We have 2, 2, 4, 3, 4. 2, 4, 3, 4. Why that? I'm drawing the little drawing too. For once, I actually know exactly what they're referring to. Because I have tried to use it basically since the very first time we streamed. Cool. Okay. In the early days, the moiety seeking an escape from Riven briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. I've instructed them to stay away from it. I'm almost certain that, with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. So maybe we don't want to do that. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen the Myst book fall from Atris's hands into that very same space. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, thrown into it so that he could observe their fate. The telescope which still stands there is one he had built for these callous experiments. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gen's optics prevented him from learning their fate. The star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is not a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atris explained it after he had fallen into it. But much more than that we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude upon its origins. But the visions tell me that it was born out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. Your kitten gave up Snuggles. He discovered a box instead. I mean, if you ever want to control a cat, just put an empty box out. Or even a paper bag. They will gravitate towards it. Or just draw a box on the ground. Apparently they will sit in that. I still remember Atris's words from his journal. Quote, I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. Unquote. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier, the unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during our escape from Riven, the very design that stands vertically at one end of the Aclatuan, has been adapted by the moiety as the symbol of their cause. It is a sacred symbol for them. It is the representation of all their doctrine, and their representation of me. To deface this symbol is sacrilege. One moment. I had very important retweeting to do. It has been officially announced. The guest on Clear Skies tonight, where we will be rating at the end of stream, is Amy Dallin. The internet sensation, Amy Dallin. So that's exciting. Boxes are very exciting if you're a cat. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age along with all the other daggers. Strange how... I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age along with all the other daggers. Creating things from your thoughts. Isn't that kind of being a god? Like she's talking about how she feels weird because they're treating her like she's a god, and then she's talking about how she added things to the world by writing them into existence. Literally, kind of exactly what the conception of a god is, being able to just create things into a world when you're not even there. Anyway, it's strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own god. I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses this paranoia against them. They are fearful of Gen's symbol and are terrorized by his symbolic use of the Wark. Yep, but in the Hira, but ethical sense. Not in the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. Yes. A very local god. But she has the power of a god. She's not omnipotent, omnipresent, etc., but godlike powers. But they don't want to hear this from me. Perhaps my attempts have even caused some of the younger members of the moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. My rare encounters with those who say they follow Gen have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers, but they always flee from me. But I have heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gen. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a symbol of their failure. In the village circles, it is told that this was a punitive act performed by Gen to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, if they had proven their devotion to him, they will be delivered unto a new and better existence. Only the true Messiah will deny their divinity. That is, I don't know what that quote is from, but it sounds like religious philosophy. I don't know a lot about religion. I will continue to try to reach them. Oh, Life of Brian, Monty Python. I mean, what better source of religious philosophy do you need? Always look on the bright side of life. Uh, the door is open, and Gen is free. Gen has the ability to create working books. In fact, he had written one age before I arrived, but has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I'm not sure, perhaps he has written others. Other news, a few years ago before the moiety were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gen had intended to destroy. It had been partially written, but did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gen's books worked, but instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven forest, and proceeded to engineer a cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes to heal his books' inherent flaws. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. At last, however, he finished his work, and was finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely well hidden. However, for some reason or another, belligerent pride? He has made modifications to the domes which make it obvious that he's using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Perhaps he means to lure us into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would blindly swallow this suicidal... I don't know what that word is, but bait? Blindly swallow this suicidal bait. But he wouldn't know that we have one of his books. The stolen, burnt book. There is a possibility of... Scratched out. Have read burnt book. Age it describes would be unsuitable as new home for the moiety. Must be modified. I will dream. Have requested a group to solve combination that will open the dome. Once open, we can power the burnt book. I do not think Gen will interfere. He will leave the bait. Have begun writing the moiety's age. Now must acquire second book from Gen. There is tension. A strain blurs my vision and nightmare. Mila and Etty stay close. She's literally writing them a new world. What else? I mean, that is the act of a god. Much has happened. Almost everything is prepared. We have stolen another book, but I'm concerned Gen will miss it. We've also discovered the combinations for entering the domes, but we have not discovered the method for powering them. By powering our burnt book with Gen's domes, we will be able to link to this age, but we will only have access to the domes for a short of time before we are discovered. Therefore, we can only use the domes once. I must find another way to make the books work. The gateway images in Gen's books and our burnt book all seem to share the same sickness. They are not powered. The images are blank. Might be possible to clear the vision with only... We'll write substance into the moiety age. All is ready. Now all we can do is wait for word from the moiety in Esk, who are on the lookout for Gen to power and use the domes. When he does that, we will have access to one of Gen's domes just long enough. After linking to the age which I've written, I only have to locate the book window substance and refine or adapt it. Laying this window over the gateway image should heal the books and make them work. This will allow me to use the second stolen book and return to Riven with more of the book windows. We will then no longer have to rely on Gen's clumsy domes. I laugh at these plans. I sound like Atris. I'm risking my life, but I feel no fear, only anxiety. Perhaps it is the source of my nightmares, the fissure. Like a great wound it opened. It stains the riven soil with blood. I hold the moiety knife. The voices grow so loud. For their part, the moiety have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. It is the fulfillment of their prophecy, but they are also fearful and tense. I don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done! It seems too good to be true. I feel like it's all still a dream. We have already evacuated all of the moiety to this new age. It is beautiful, and I am pleased. At last my people will live in safety and comfort. They stand under the bare sky, unafraid and dazzled by their freedom. They are happy. They have named it Tay. There's still much to be done. We are not protected yet. The only way to completely safeguard this place is to destroy the book which links to here from Riven. But I do not even know how to bring this up to the moiety. They will be extremely reluctant without destroying their only link to Riven. I share this hesitation. It would be cutting off my only connection, but for their sake it must be done. I'm anxious to know if our activities have aroused Gen's suspicions. If so, we must act quickly. Even so, I feel that now we are impregnable. Tomorrow I will return to Riven to see Gen's reaction for myself. But tonight, I finally rest. Okay. So, the books in the domes don't really want to read. We also don't want to open up the fissure. At least according to her journal, we don't want to do those things. There's a third book. This was also delivered. It's a linking book. It goes somewhere. So I'm guessing that is how I get to leave this place. Alright, somebody's arriving. Okay, that's weird. Okay. I have too many books now. I don't know what to do. Do I go through this book or do I go through the other book? Oh, that looks like it takes me back to Riven. Because we went through a book to get here. So the book in the room with the animal symbols, I must be on Tay. No, not on today. On Tay. I must Beyonce. So that will take me back to Riven. Should I go through this book, though? If I go through this book... I mean, I haven't done anything irreversible, so I still have the save that we started with today. Okay. I don't. What? Apparently, going through that book ends the game. Yeah, I think we did the bad decision. Thanks for playing Riven, the sequel to Myst. Next time, be more careful. It's a really excellently made game. Like, these people deserve credit for all of the work that they put into it. Some of the puzzles are a little difficult to, like, it's not that the puzzle itself logically is hard to figure out. Some of them were mechanically difficult to figure out. It's game over, man! Wait, you lied to me, LeVar Burton? What did LeVar Burton lie about? Oh, take a look, it's in a book? Yeah. Lies. It's all lies. We did take a look, and now we're in the book. Wow. Oh, look, they have the beta testers in the credits. That's not something you get today. Knowledge is prison. Everyone, Cyan thanks everyone who played Myst. Riven exists because of you. We will definitely be loading and going through the other book. I don't want to be a librarian anymore. It's too dangerous. I mean, there is definitely something haunted in the archives. We know that for sure. I mean, being a librarian is very dangerous. Many, many danger. Okay, let's load in. We just have to watch that video again, and then we'll have the second book to go through. The interview was a trial by magical combat. You didn't know that librarians were the true secret society. I really want to know what language they're speaking. Whether it was made for this or whether it is an actual existing language. If anybody wants to look that up and let me know, I would be very interested to know if the language spoken in Riven, the sequel to Myst, is an extant language, a dead language, or a made-up language. Starts worshipping Athena for secret knowledge. Okay, so I guess we go back to Riven. Okay. The problem is I don't know what to do. We can get to Tay. That doesn't end the game. We're just in a cell. I think winning the game, we would need to save the people here on Riven. Sorry, I had an itch. So we have a combination for the Fisher lock. But I don't think we want to open the Fisher, do we? We need to figure out how to power the dome. And how to get to Island 5. I don't know how to do those things. I mean, I know how to... Well, let's do the bad idea first. Because that's how you play a game. Okay. What happened? I just wanted to... I wanted to go back down. Let me go down. I'm lost. Why am I able to get over there? Can I do something over? I don't think I ever came over here before, but apparently that doesn't matter because I don't seem to be able to do anything. Huh. Can I get to that? There's a ladder over there. I don't think it's possible to get there. I feel like I would have discovered that before if it was possible. I didn't know I could look up. How did I not know that I could look up? Okay, that's just funny. It doesn't seem to do anything for me, but I can look up. And I never knew. Alright. Let's go open the telescope thingy. Just because we know we can. Even though it's probably a really bad idea. I mean, we already died once this playthrough. Riven, the sequel to Myst. Death count 1. Roller coaster time. One. Oh, I had the creepiest thought the other day, and I don't know, I haven't searched to see if somebody's done it. I imagine somebody has. But I was just thinking, somebody was talking about the count in something that I was watching. I think it was... Oh, I've been watching Vast, and Colin Kelly's character was referred to as the Count. And it made me think of... for some reason, it made me think of, like, illustrating the Count, but not as a Muppet, but, like, drawing the Count with, like... the Count's proportions and coloration, but human skin. Like, human skin texture and human hair texture, etc., but still purple and with the weird shaped head and whatnot. So, yeah, like, super creepy. Alright, we're gonna save. Save. Do the bad idea. Alright. 22434. No, don't close it. Smalls! Oh my gosh! It's a raid! Hi! Welcome! Hey, Smalls! Thank you for bringing everybody over! Welcome in, welcome in! Hi everybody, welcome to the Rogues Gallery. I am Rogan27. I'm a variety streamer and a professional archivist. And, Kira's already got a shout out for Smalls. For any of my viewers, absolutely give Smalls a follow. We've rated Smalls many, many times, and she's an absolutely amazing streamer. She is also an actress. She was Dr. Murch in a Netflix show. I've forgotten the name of it. I don't know. But she was also in Twin Peaks, and she's in an audio movie of ElfQuest that's coming up. Which, yay. Z Nation. Thank you, that guy, Nick. So, absolutely worth a follow. And for everybody who arrived on the raid, like I said, I'm a variety streamer and professional archivist. So 3 days a week I stream games, and 1 day a week I stream from the archives at Virginia Tech. So Mondays is kind of a randomized variety game. So when we finish playing a game, I spin a wheel and it tells me what to play next. And we're currently playing Riven, the sequel to Myst. Wednesdays is when I do my archive stream. Saturdays, we're currently playing Ultima 4. I've been playing through the old Ultima series of games, which, so Ultima 4 actually came out in 1985. And then on Sundays, I'm currently doing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm still in the very first game, because we're taking it slow. But anyway, welcome in, everybody. Smalls, it's so wonderful to have you come by. We'll be going for about another hour, and then we're raiding over to Q Times for the TTRPG show Clear Skies, which is GM'd by Eric Campbell, who is also a wonderful streamer. Yeah, so that's where we'll be going in about an hour. But welcome, everybody. I think Deca132 and that guy Nick83, thank you for the follows, and thanks everybody for just coming by. We died once in Riven today. Went through a linking book. If you know anything about the Myst series, you're on worlds that are like inside books. We went through a book and had people just close the cover on us, and so we were in a book, and that was the end of the game. So we loaded, and now we're doing a bad idea. Opening a fissure in the world that apparently goes into space. I don't know what we're gonna find. We opened it once. There's a telescope. Riven is from 97, I think. Kira, if you can throw the info on the game in chat, that'd be great. But it's a puzzle adventure game. So let me switch back. And of course, Streamlabs will take a second to pick up the game, because it always does. Alright. So we just opened this. This apparently goes into a fissure that goes into some starry void. So I need to lower the telescope. I don't remember how, though. Oh, there we go. So this game is still pictures, that have video files. So every time I click on something, the interaction with that thing, so like when the telescope was moving down, that is a video that plays on top of a still image. It's a really kind of interesting concept for how to animate a game. Great. Now I have a telescope that looks into the void of space. I don't know what that does for me. Well, I figured out how to activate the telescope. Thanks to Catherine and the combination. And we got a nice picture of space that apparently I cannot interact with in any way. It's full of stars. Oh, Kira, no. Not 2001: A Space Odyssey, please. So what happens if I have it open and I have this raised? I don't think anything in particular will happen, but I'm gonna look. The same picture, but with a different amount of light pollution. Grand. Hey. And we know Catherine made the daggers. She wrote them into existence. We're here to save a woman named Catherine on behalf of her husband. In the hopes that he'll finally send us home. I don't know how to get to Island 5. I think that's where we need to go, though. Island with the giant tree on it, and it's apparently so far away that we can't see it. There has to be a way to get there, because Gen goes there. Oh, I hit the door again. I think we're supposed to be able to travel through Gen's office somehow, but I don't know how to get there either. I am open to suggestions from the rogues in the rogues gallery. If anybody has ideas or advice on how to proceed, that would be appreciated. Because at the moment, I'm slightly stumped. Oh, I could look at... Okay, so in Catherine's journal... Let's see, that... Yes, that's that lever. That's part of the instructions on how to use the telescope. Lord Portico, I am open to whatever thought you might have. Dome Island. I don't think I've seen a dagger sticking out the side of an island like that anywhere. Path through the trees. Hi, Shadistro. How are you today? In case of emergency, break glass? How would I do that, though? Are you talking about on the telescope? Oh. 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 Yeah. That is an option. That is certainly something we can try that we have not tried before. Except, without them being powered, I don't know if it'll work. Oh, Shadistro, if you are having tacos, you came in just after we got a raid from the Taco Zone. We were raided by Hey Smalls, who is absolutely amazing, and her community is the Taco Zone. They have lovely taco emotes. I'm going to throw some of those into the chat. So if you are not aware of Hey Smalls, you should definitely follow Lisa. Yes, I am excited for Amy to be on Clear Skies tonight. We'll be going over there in just under an hour for Clear Skies with guest star Amy Dallin. I just realized we had this clue that we have the answer to, maybe? Oh, Giant Dome Island. I don't have the color for Giant Dome Island. But we can get that one, and then it's just a guess on the 5th one, but that leaves us with only 2 colors. And we're on Giant Dome Island. Sort of. The bridge goes the wrong place. So what happens? I push this, does the bridge go the other way? Don't remember. Yay, tacos! Oh, Smalls. Have you done the taco stream yet? I don't remember seeing it. You know, not a big deal if you haven't. If I missed it, I want to watch the VOD. Soon. Yes. I am excited for the taco cooking stream. If I can watch it live, I absolutely will. Otherwise, I will definitely be watching the VOD. That didn't work either. Okay. I know how to get there. Sorry. lots of clicking through screens. Because I can't, there's no WASD in this. When we played Myst, we played an updated version of it that actually had WASD enabled, where they had taken all of the individual art screens and turned them into a 3D navigable world, which was absolutely amazing. But the Riven has not received that treatment, so it's still a point-and-click adventure, but with integrated video. All right, one more. Sorry, one more. Nope. The button is over here on the side of the screen and sometimes hard to get a hold of. Hi, just here for coffee. How are you tonight? Justy, are you excited? Are you excited for Clear Skies? Have you seen who the guest star is tonight? Alright, if I want to get to the island, but the other way, I need to go where I was before. Because I need to turn back on the small dome on Giant Dome Island to find out what the symbol on it is so that I know what color bead is associated with that island. And then I'll only be missing one piece of the puzzle, which is the symbol for the color on the 5th island that we've not been able to reach. But there will only be 2 colors remaining, so it'll be one of the 2. Yes! Excite! Yes! Yes! Flappy hands! Like, I know she won't be playing Throlo Shishiro's, which, when I was playing Ultima 3, one of my characters was named Throlo after her Shield of Tomorrow character. But it's going to be so good to see her back in, like, a Star Trek RPG. Alright, if I want to go... If I go this way and go through the minecart, that's the fastest way to get there. More roller coaster riding! I think this might be the 5th week that I've been playing Riven now. We're making progress, I guarantee. I don't know what the purpose of being able to open the fissure and look through the telescope is. Yeah, like all of the other streampunks have been together, but Amy's just been so busy that she hasn't been a part of anything with them in a while. So it's nice that she's finally able to come and do something. Such a peaceful end to the ride through the water. In the mine cart. Their safety measures on these roller coasters are not great. Oh yeah, Hector needs to come and play. Well, and name from Eric's TBD RPG, Eric's old roommate, Duncan. Duncan also needs to be on something eventually. I told Eric that when he does, because he's gonna do a Doctor Who either short series or one shot with the updated rule set, I told him that he needs to get Duncan to come back for that, because that would be awesome. Am I like really below the window? I'm sorry, y'all. Let me fix that. I don't know what's going on. Camera, why are you doing that? It's because I'm slouching a little, but no! I have now, sorry. I should not adjust things on the fly. Nope. You can see my nose! Alright, why is it doing? There, that's the one I want. I've been trying to make adjustments to how things work. I got a new camera, and there, that's better. Hopefully you can actually see my face now instead of just from nose up. Anyway. Okay. We're almost there. Okay. I go around this way. And here. No. I don't remember how to get there. Alright, that's not the one. Not this way, is it? Right, that moved that up. I'm fine with that way. Me trying to remember puzzles that I solved before. Not the greatest. Oh, I remember where it is. It is this way. Hannah, face bits. Thank you. Not here. Where is it? I don't remember. It's down. So here? Here. It's here. I found it! Yatta! After having solved the puzzles, having to go back and redo them is not fun. Alright, let's turn this thing on, figure out which symbol, so that I have the color. Because each symbol is associated with a color. Alright. So what is the symbol? It is the fully open eye. Which, the fully open eye, I don't remember how I got the colors. Oh, green. Fully open eye is green. So we have 4 of the 5, which should allow us... Alright, I'm trying to turn this thing off again. There we go. So now we go back to the bead puzzle, because we have 4 of the colors that we need to be able to solve that, and we only need 5, and there are 6 colors possible. So even though we don't know what the last one is, we should be able to solve it. Trying to think if there's a faster way back, but I think I have to go back on the roller coasters again. Well, no I don't. I just have to spin the thingies. Spin the room. Up the ladder. Not there. Here. I go through here. No, and spin it. Navigation is a puzzle in this game. Just general navigation. Alright. Nope, that just goes there. Oh. No. Nope, nope, nope. Should, if I turn it like 2 or 3 times, probably it'll get me there. Here goes turn number 3. Let's go where I want to go. No. But is it possible? I don't think it's possible to make the 2 of those connect. So let me come out here and turn this, because I know this will connect to it. And here you can actually watch the room turn. As the room turns. Like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our game. I'm mixing multiple soap operas together now? I don't know why. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn. That's as much as that as I'm gonna sing right now, but thank you, Kira. Okay. I have multiple pages of notes. I have the grid. And I have notes on which where the beads go, what colors go where. Alright. The question is, I don't remember which island is which. Shoot. I really should have just called the islands by their shapes. It's been a week. I don't remember which island is which. I think if I take this one and put it here. I think... Oh, jeez. I think I have to go and look. Darn it! I should have taken better notes, and I closed that door again. I closed the door again. I apologize, everyone. But now you'll get to see the map island. How do I get to map island? How do I get to map island? I think the fastest way to map island is through Forest Island. Through the iguana statue in the village, or in the mushroom forest. So, I think just one roller coaster ride. One roller coaster ride and a creepy underwater elevator? Alright, so this puts us on Tree Island, and we should be able to go from here through the tree elevator to a more direct path. I think there is one more roller coaster ride, though, that we have to take. Up. Doing this without a map. I should have drawn a map. All right. We're so close. We're so close to solving that puzzle. I just didn't take good enough notes. I love this elevator. The one that's inside of a tree. It's amazing. Okay. Where's the call button? Oh, shoot. That's my fault. The call button is at the top of the elevator. I was focused on the other puzzle. I wasn't focused on this puzzle. And then we did the other puzzle, and it ended the game. In a sort of losing scenario, so now we're trying this puzzle. Although it was an awesome ending. It was just not the ending we were trying for. Alright. This should be the last before we can get to Map Island. And on Map Island, I can identify... Oh, hey! Map Island is the one that has the dagger sticking out sideways. I never saw it before. I saw it in Catherine's journal, and then I just saw it from the roller coaster. Okay. So now we go up through the underwater elevator, and we'll be at the map overlook, where we can get a sense of which island is which is what I need to know right now. Okay. Creepy underwater elevator. Here we go. I don't actually think it's underwater. It just looks like it's descending into a pool of lava or something. So it's kind of creepy when you first encounter it. I was like, am I descending into the depths of hell inside of a weird box? The contraptions in the games are really unique and interesting. So many steps to this. I thought this would be faster than just riding the things. I don't actually have to ride this roller coaster, I just have to get in it and turn it around so I can get out the other side. Soon! Soon! We're close! Alright, I need to turn you. Just the fact that it's like literal QuickTime videos that mesh so seamlessly with the still art images, I just still can't get over that. It's really amazingly done. Okay, here we are on Map Island. Nope. Push the button. Alright, so... Alright, so... the little L-shaped island... I think the L-shaped island is Map Island. So... I think that's the one that we are on currently. Which would mean... Okay, so Big Dome Island is this one. Which, on the grid, is 2x1. I'm drawing, like, the shape of the islands on the grid next to where I had them labeled. Nope, you can't see. There. Anyway. Let's see. That's not Tree Island, is it? That's Tree Island over there. So Tree Island is the big island. This. Which would mean Generator Island is the square island over here. And the unknown island, Giant Tree Island, is the single small square. Okay. Now that I have the island shapes jotted down, and not just names that I gave them that I forgot what they meant, we go back and try and do that bead puzzle. Oh, for some fast travel. Alright. Let me out. Let me out. Come on, video, stop playing. Some of the QuickTime videos have a long tail where they don't seem to be doing anything, but they don't free up your cursor to move. Like, perfectly seamless. Still image that suddenly is overlaid with a video that starts with that exact same still image that just plays and then seamlessly matches into another still image. Like, it's amazing and revolutionary for the time, because this was like 1997. This was high quality 3D animation, and at the time 3D animation was not this graphical quality. So by interlacing QuickTime videos with still imagery, they were able to get these really high definition animation sequences that are amazing for the time period. Sorry, I know we've been playing it for 5 weeks. I'm still gushing about it. I also feel like we've got to be close to the end of the game by now. But I have no idea. Actually, we did end the game tonight. One way. Apparently there are multiple endings. Alright. Is that the last... Am I on the island I want to be on? I don't know anymore. Oh wait, I'm on Tree Island. Okay, that's where I am. I think one more roller coaster ride to get to where I need to be. Oh, amazing. This is like an early precursor to things like The Room. It's just really well done. Down this way. Down halfway. In here. Down the hill. Last of these, and then we can get to the puzzle and do the puzzle! I have put so much work into this puzzle. A lot of that work has been traveling from island to island to get clues, after having already been to all the islands and not getting the clues because I didn't know they were clues. And Captions thinks that I went to get clothes, and didn't know that they were closed. Clues. C-L-U-E-S, Captioner. Clues are just if you want to make the game easy. Yeah. Trial and error is the real way to play. It's not. This game is all about clues. Finding the clues can sometimes give you the blues, but... Alright. So I think I was correct in where the orange one goes. Alright, so Tree Island. Tree Island is red. And Tree Island goes here. Generator Island is purple one. And it goes here. Map Island, I believe I have placed correctly, and it is orange. Giant Dome Island is green. It goes here. Alright, and so it's either yellow or blue, and I know where it goes. Nothing? Did I do it wrong? Well, we're trying it with blue, apparently. Hopefully Blue's Clues was right. Error. Does not compute. I was expecting 4. Maybe blue was wrong. Let's try it with yellow. But I found the switch, at least. Hopefully I have all the placements right. Because I worked hard to get those. Hi, Adventures of Tony! So we started with some story time, ended up, like, chatting a bit, and then I read Catherine's journal, and then we looked in another book, and I died, and that ended the game, and so then we reloaded, and now I'm solving more puzzles. Neither of those seem to give me quite the result I was expecting. I don't know. Have I done something wrong? I was expecting more noise. I thought this was going to activate the generator and power the books. But I don't hear an active generator, do you? Let's go. You just got out of 3 hours of Zoom presentations. Oh my gosh, Tony, I'm so sorry. Did you see the news about the guest star on Clear Skies tonight? That might make you feel happy. Oh gosh, 3 more hours tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Yeah, decompress a little bit. We'll be heading over in about 20 minutes for Clear Skies with Amy Dallin. I don't know if I have done something wrong. Feel like I'm so close. You got free food, that's a good thing. As long as it's, like, edible food. Does it go where I want to go? It does. I feel like this should be doing something if that worked properly, but it's not doing anything. How do I make it do? A stretch redemption. Thank you, Tony. Oh, stretchy stretch. Oh, and a hydrate as well. I will get to that. Ooh. Actually, thank you. I needed the stretch. Oh, and I definitely needed the posture check. I know I've been slouching. Ooh. Thank you for taking care of the streamer. Oh. Me and my 7-Up Zero. I don't know. Let's open this up and see. What was the combination? 7, 12, 13, 19, 24. 5, 10, 15, 20. There's 25, so 24. $19. 13. 12. 7. I don't think it's gonna do anything. I'm thinking I have made a mistake. Yep. Non-functional. Was it blue? Should I have done blue? Did I put them in the wrong places? I don't know. I've done all the steps. What have I missed? Alright. I'm not above checking to just verify that I did it correctly. Rivet. Map puzzle, nope. I did all that. I did all that. Did that. Yep. I don't know where it is. Turn around and click the switch on the... Go back down the stairs and go through the gold room to the bridge. First rotation, but 3 times go through the gold room. You're not telling me what I need to know. One moment. Streamer is experiencing mental difficulty. Well, I mean, that happens to me a lot, but that didn't come out quite the way I meant. How do I do? I have done... Yes. I just really want to just verify that I've done them correctly, please. Thank you. Alright, I have a diagram that will tell me if I have done them correctly. So now we go back and we see if I did them correctly. Just from looking at it, I have the colors correct. I think I may have the placement of one of the marbles one spot off. Which they were really hard to figure out where to put. So I don't feel too bad about getting them off by one, but I also do not want to spend the time necessary to go back and check all of that, because, like I said, it was a chore. It's why I have grids with circles drawn in my notes. And so if I have misplaced one of them, I'd rather just have the proper solution and do it. I've done all the work already. I know how to do the puzzle. If I misplaced one, I'm sorry. This is, again, one of those things where, like, the mechanics of the puzzle are a little bit needlessly... like, it's slightly too easy to make a mistake. Alright, so I had 2 of the colors reversed, which just means that I had the islands wrong as to which island was which. And then the one color that we didn't know, I had that one wrong as well. But identifying the islands and figuring out which one corresponded to what was really hard. So I reversed the red and the green. Because I misidentified which island was which. Okay. Now they are properly placed. Let's see if it works now. Beep, beep, beep. The time is now 9:20, and this is your 10-minute warning. Beep, beep, beep. Thank you, Kira. Going to repair. You're appreciating you're appreciating my interpretation of your attempts at humor. I enjoy it. I like the creative ways that you're giving me the time warning. I like even more that you're giving me the time warning. Because I did not enjoy basically bailing out at the end of last week. Pull that and throw it to where I can get the and sort of monitor when they go live. All right. Am I back? Kira, every time you tell a joke, literally every time you tell a joke, the stream goes down. I'm just gonna check and see if this worked, and then we're gonna do the raid. Just most times. And hopefully, since our ISP said they're upgrading things tonight, hopefully that means that that won't happen in the future. Well, I don't know. You might have to just refresh just here for coffee, because the video is going, I think. But regardless, I'm saving the game. What now? And let's see. We are going to be raiding. We're going to be raiding queue times for Clear Skies. Anyway, yes, so they are live now. We're going to head over there for Clear Skies. It is the Streampunks RPG group. Their live play of the Star Trek Adventures tabletop role-playing game. Their stream is mislabeled as Power Play at the moment. Hopefully they will update the stream title. But they are in the countdown. Things are getting interesting. It's the feel of the RPG right now. It has the energy of like season 7 of Deep Space Nine right now. And they are having a special guest star tonight, Amy Dallin, internet sensation. Amy Dallin is joining them. If you're unfamiliar with Clear Skies, DM is Eric C. Campbell, and it has Bonnie Bell Gordon, Revati Domse, Sam DeLev, Gina DeVivo, Aki, and Xander Jeanneret as the cast, and they are absolutely amazing. The Streampunks are an awesome RPG group, so if you don't already follow them, I do recommend that you follow them on Twitter. It is Streampunks RPG, I think. If you search for Streampunks, you'll find them. Not Steampunks, Streampunks. Anyway, we are going to raid over to them now. I want to thank everybody for coming to the stream today. Hang on, I'm typing. There we go. I want to thank everybody for coming to the stream today. I will be streaming next on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time for more of Archival Adventures, where we're continuing our look at historic medicine, folk medicine, traditional medicine, that kind of stuff, patent medicines, a lot of like 19th century, 17th century medical stuff in that collection. And then my next game stream is on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Ultima 4, The Quest of the Avatar. On Sundays, I stream Mass Effect, and I will be returning to Riven to see if we can finish the game next week. On Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, if we do finish it, we will spin the wheel and see what we play next. So I hope you'll all come back next week. Thank you so much, Hey Smalls, for the raid. Thanks to everybody who came and hung out. Thanks to the new followers. Hannah for the bits. Kira, of course, absolutely, for being an amazing, amazing mod. And yeah, get out there and do some shenanigans. I will see you all later.